folks, welcome to another edition of the Critical Beard Podcast. My name is the Cardinal, and this is
the Meatball.
He's the Meatball. We're here to give and gab and have a good time with you. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. Big old news, gaming news. There had to be no goddamn gaming news.
My lighting is terrible.
You should.
It's terrible. I just think, can someone come over here and just hold my phone up to me so there's better lighting on your face? Terrible. Yes, we got big old news.
We got news. We got lots of news, and we have had weeks and weeks and weeks without any fucking news or anything to talk about, and it's really good because we got 1,000 things to talk about now. Because not only did we get the full reveal of the PlayStation 5 and 1 billion games coming to it, but we also got like extra details on fucking Paper Mario. We got a leaked Star Wars Rogue Squadron fucking game coming out. So we got crazy amounts of stuff going on. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. Usually we do what you playing. We all know what I'm playing. I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles. We know that someone's playing Animal Crossing and Xenoblade Chronicles. We get it. I haven't jumped into Xenogears yet. I downloaded it. I'm gonna get to it. Okay, so chill out. Just chill, everybody. Okay. Good Lord, So anyway, let's get into the PlayStation 5 reveal. That big reveal, big boomer, the one we were waiting for, got canceled for a week because of things, and then they uncanceled it after a week.
Yeah, what a difference.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow, thanks, guys.
I was like, that doesn't scream a PR only move right there.
Called it. But yes, It started with like a nice little like montage of like PS1 through 4. That was nice. I was like, oh, that's nice. What's nice? They opened up with, oh my gosh, GTA 5.
We thought it was going to be GTA 6. We were like, oh. No. And they were like, GTA 5 again, re-released for a third console. I'm like,
that's crazy. But I mean, you can't blame them because people still play the hell out of it online, man.
Monet. But yeah.
Yeah, then, it is money, but people play the hell out of it online though, man. It's one of the biggest online games in the world. We
thought that was their big opener, and I was like, dud. And then they were like, JK Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it's like from what I read up, it's basically an expansion.
They've cleared that up. It's its own game now. They initially they were like, well, it's not like it's not Spider-Man 2, but it's like it's kind of, and they worded it weird when they were asked about it, and so everyone was like, oh, so it's just an expansion, so it's like downloadable content. So when they release it, it's gonna be like the Game of the Year edition is gonna just have the Miles Morales content in it, and then they clarified today that it is absolutely its own game, 100%.
Well, they need to get better. Speaking of PR, they need to get better PR. It's fair.
It's just gonna be like how Uncharted Lost Legacy was, right? It's like
but that wasn't.
No, well, it was its own game.
But that's what an expansion used to be.
Okay, well, for all intents, it's a product that you can buy on its own. That doesn't have the name of the other game in it, and it's its own.
It does though.
Well, anyways, looks like we're gonna.
It's just badly handled. I'm just like, what is this?
It was. It looks like we're gonna be getting probably like a 15 to 20 hour long Spider-Man adventure or something like that. Maybe it's slightly shorter. I don't know, but either way, I'm stoked. Miles does not get enough respect, and he is
really, because I feel like that character gets nothing but respect. I don't know.
Lately, because of Into the Spider-Verse and the new Spider-Man game. But I mean before that, like.
Oh, so you're playing the hipster card. You're like, what? Oh, now you're paying attention to my.
You just activated my hipster card.
Tap it.
So obviously, I'm probably gameplay-wise, just like strictly gameplay, because I know what that game is. That might be like the most excited thing, like the most excited I was. Just thinking about playing it because I know what that is. It's a known quantity, and I want to run around as Miles Morales and unlock more cool costumes and just do more of that shit because that game is just pure fun.
Miles per hour.
What? I'm a little confused as why they didn't just call it Spider-Man Miles. I don't know why they put the full name in there.
Or they could have just I don't know.
Had a better, just Spider-Man in the name of
PR. Yeah, the PR was not great with that game.
But anyways,
I didn't play a lot of the first one, so
it's great.
I have no horse in the race. Actually, I played a little bit of it, and I don't know. It was alright.
What was the next game announced?
The always technically impressive tech demo that is Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, but I have mine are listed by hype level.
Mine's listed in chronological.
So yeah, so mine is that one's down towards the bottom.
Yeah, because it's Gran Turismo.
I mean,
it
looks
the
cool.
thing about Gran Turismo, it's such like I mean, the hyper realism is such like a niche thing that's like if you're already into that type of game, like they're not going to be getting new audience members with that game. You know what I mean? It's like if you were there for the last game, you're going to pick this one up.
It looks cool. I guess if you like
it. I guess I'm into the more arcade.
And then what was after that?
All right, this is Square Enix's Project
Athia.
Now, first thing I thought about when I saw that was, I don't know if you remember from like 2012, their little tech demo for a product called Agnes Philosophy. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't actually remember that.
Just like 2-3 minute long little tech demo, like during the PS3. No, PS4. No, that was PS3, right? 2012.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it was like the tail end. And it had this woman, and it was like a fantasy world, and there was like a weird canine, and it was magic fantasy. It also had like kind of like some modern stuff, and that was pretty much what we saw, but just different. So I'm like, is this like kind of a fruition of the ideas, whatever they were messing around with? You should look it up though if you don't remember Agnes Philosophy.
Yeah,
this little tech demo thing that they put out years ago.
Text me a trailer. Yeah,
even the names. Even the names are similar.
Yeah. Project Athia.
Acne. But I mean, it looked cool for whatever the heck it was.
I mean, it looked like we saw gameplay and engine, actual things happening. It was extremely short. It was like 30 seconds. But what I did see, if it was longer and I saw more of what we saw, that might have been my game of the show, because like that was the most like holy shit next gen looking thing I think we saw. Because it was just nuts. She was like flying around, landing, building, like shooting roots up out of the ground around enemies. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? This looks so cool. It looks like a platinum game meets Final Fantasy 15's. Like,
I wonder if they're using what engine they're using. Because I know Square's been using Unreal, but it said in the beginning of the trailer, it said like Luminous, Luminous something, like the name of the in-house developers was like Luminous.
Oh,
and that was the name of the engine they were building.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still using.
They came out later and said that it was the Final Fantasy 15 team that was working on this game, and that the writer of the game was Gary Whitta, who wrote Rogue One and Book of Eli. So kind of and Walking Dead Season 1, the Telltale. He wrote all of that.
Book of Eli is the shit.
Book of Eli. I mean, everything he's done, honestly, he wrote. I think he kind of wrote After Earth, sort of. I don't know. He
had to ruin it.
He had a hand in it, but Book of Eli, Rogue One, and Walking Dead Season 1, which is, in my opinion, like the only decent Telltale game other than Wolf Among Us. I love your lighting.
Dramatic.
But I mean, Walking Dead Season 1 had amazing writing. Not the show. I mean the game.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, so Gary Wood is an amazing writer. He also did I guess he did the comic version, the comic book adaptation of The Last Jedi. But it was like what Luke was doing. It was all about Luke, and apparently it was pretty cool. So anyways, I'm fucking obviously stoked. The Star Wars writer, and fucking Final Fantasy 15 team.
Working on a Square game. They usually don't get Western writers, so
that's what I was like. Maybe this will make sense.
Yeah, because as much as I love Japanese storytelling, it does have a certain ability to go off the rails and be like, what the hell is going on?
Maybe I think they bring Gary Witt as because he's actually I listened to him on a weekly thing, and he actually has started hosting his own show called Animal Talking, where he has a talk show in Animal Crossing. Gary Witt has started that, and it's become real big now. It's like a huge thing. He has celebrities on there, but like I listen to him on a weekly podcast, a kind of funny podcast, and he's on there every Wednesday. They call it Witt Wednesdays, and he's such a grounded person, just a grounded writer and a grounded person that he's, that's why I think a lot of people like Rogue One, because it felt like a grounded Star Wars story, and Book of Eli was kind of a grounded like sci-fi kind of tale. And so I don't know, I think he could bring some sort of like grounding to he could bring these fuckers out of the sky,
characters.
Like, let's make this make sense. I'm just so super stoked. We don't have a lot of info on that one, so we'll move on. And then what was next?
I'm eating a jalapeno popper, so.
Dude, I had one yesterday. I had
so good. Just one? 5 of them. Okay, good. All right, next up we had this game called Stray.
The cat game.
This looked cool because it's like, cool stylized robot future where there's no humans. I get to play as a kitty. A kitty with a bag. So I heard people who were like, it was like Sony, right? And it had like the colon Sony, and it was like the PlayStation 5 will bring you the most insane next gen video gaming, and then it's like me colon that cat has a backpack. Yes, I'm pretty excited about that. It doesn't take a lot to excite me in terms of like just give me like I get to play as a cat in a robot world. Why hasn't anyone done that before?
I don't know. I was thinking that when I watched it, and unfortunately, that was one of the few ones we didn't see any gameplay of, which kind of sucks because I want to see what that game is.
Yeah.
There was
I'm
that weird
game. Play as the cat. It seems
there was
like
that weird, what was that game? Tokyo Jungle.
Yes, I remember that when you play as the animals, like in the
post-human world, or like Silicon Valley, Space Station Silicon Valley on the 64, where you like play as all these different animals and shit. I always liked that shit. I don't know why. Sometimes I don't want to be a human. I just want to be a fucking dog or something. And then what was after that?
Brand new House Marquee game. I love House Marquee games. They made a super.
They made Resogun,
and then Super something HD. What is it?
Top down.
They're really really good at making really fun franchises.
Alien Nation and Dead Nation.
But they're fantastic developers. I love Resogun, but this is their first like outage into like a more story driven kind of game, and it seems like it's like a roguelike of some sort.
It was called
Returnal.
Returnal, yeah.
Which it's a dumb name, but I love it because it's like, get it? They return.
I saw that name. I rolled my eyes, but I was like,
I love it.
It looks fun.
I love it. But yeah, it looks like it's like this is the first game of 2 that have like self-aware. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna loop. I'm like, is this like a thing now?
The new gimmick,
the new trope is like self-aware video game.
It's gonna be the day after tomorrow or whatever, Groundhog Day. And then after that was
Sackboy, Big Adventure. Okay, Little Big World, like Little Big 3D World. Yes, please.
Yeah, so it looks like what we're doing is we're giving you Little Big Planet, making the platforming tighter and doing away with the level building.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Maybe not.
Because I saw in a couple of shots when Sackboy was jumping around, they had the little bubbles. Remember how like the little bubbles you collect to get building materials? I saw a couple of those around, so I don't know if they just. I'm sure they lightened it, but I'm pretty sure there's some type. I mean, it's Media Molecule. I'm sure there's some type of level building.
Yeah, true. I'm all in. I really really think that Media Molecule is such an underrated studio.
Yeah,
they're so imaginative. They're so like fucking cutting edge for being so cute. And I'm all in for that game. It looks beautiful.
And they brought back like the music stylings from Little Big Planet. And I was like, yes, this sounds like Little Big Planet music. Yeah.
It looks like the Mario Odyssey on PlayStation that we need. Well,
it has that same isometric pseudo 3D like Super Mario 3D World, but it's just Sackboy. I'm like, yes.
I'm all in. Let's do it.
Next, we had Rocket League plus Destruction Derby times Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, Destruction All Stars. That's the name of it.
Yeah, that's another one at the bottom of the old list.
I don't know. Honestly,
okay.
I don't like the charisma of the Fallout, the Fortnite kind of characterization. But it is cool that if this becomes really popular, it'd be really cool to get like more car destruction games. So whatever.
Yeah,
you know
it's something
I mean?
that if I play it like when I'm over at a friend's house or something and I dig it, like that'll be how I know.
Fun.
It's not a game that's gonna like I'm gonna watch a trailer and be like, oh my god. But yeah, and then after that was Little Devil.
Kena. Bridge of Spirits.
Bridge of Spirits.
Which is like Zelda plus Pikmin.
Zelda, Pikmin, Pixar, Miyazaki, just a bunch of shit. Looks, again, this is another game that truly looks next gen to me. I was very excited. This is another one of my like top game of shows for me. I don't know for everyone. It doesn't seem like everyone has the same feeling.
Okay. It reminded me of a PS2 era game, but just it looked phenomenal. Like it looked like it had that same kind of.
It had that kind of Beyond Good and Evil
feeling.
Meets that. What was that fucking game? That 360 launch title where you were that chick with the magic powers.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, it kind of had that vibe, but it looked so much smoother, and it looked a lot more like the combat seemed very slick. The dodge rolls and like the actual like combat seemed really cool. I'm just very excited to see what the hell that game is going to be. When it comes out. We don't really know. Again, that's another game. It would be my game of show, but I don't know much about it. So
but there's not enough show. I did miss one from the beginning.
What did we miss?
Ratchet and Clank: The Rift Apart.
Oh yeah, fucking Ratchet. Yeah, I'm all in for that fucking game. I love the remake on PS4, and this looks even better.
I mean, it's obviously like it felt like a tech demo kind of. Look what we can do now, because like
it was extremely impressive how much it was like because you just load in these worlds after another. Yeah. It's just like
it was kind of gimmick. That's why I feel like it's a tech demo, because it felt gimmicky, not a bad gimmick way, but like
how much is this going to factor into the gameplay?
Yeah, because it's like they had like the portals that like you literally just like instant loaded entire new texture worlds and everything. It's like, hey, look what we can do now.
It was
gimmicky,
like,
but it looked super cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how much of that is actually in the game.
I'm sure
they said that there will be a good amount of it.
Yeah, because I mean, you can even do it in like in the combat they showed. Like you're able to like basically warp, but like they
like
did
the Dishonored like.
Yeah, but they did it in a much more. I mean, the only word I can think of is gimmick. But like not a gimmick. A gimmick gets such a bad rap. Gimmick is not a bad thing. Gimmick is just something used to display something. And in this way, it's like they had like the Dishonored thing, but like it showed off all the possibilities of loading massive.
I mean, really, a gimmick is just something to give a game an identity by using a new technique. By using a new thing that makes it stand out. Yeah,
but that's a bad word now. You can't say gimmick.
Don't say it.
It's a gimmick.
Arrest you.
So all right, next up. Goodbye, Volcano High.
Oh, yeah, I didn't write that one down. That one has a cool art style.
I freaking hate the art style.
Really?
I'm just gonna say it.
Oh,
like,
man,
I'm just like, what? I do not want to play Life is Strange with ugly dragon people.
That's exactly what I want to play, because I don't think there was enough ugly dragon people in Life is Strange.
Really? Because have you been in the Northwest?
I mean, I just want to double down on that shit. I was like, let's do this.
No, it has that very distinct like modern art style, but like I can't even just like furry kind of art style that just I just think it's ugly. Like their weird long mouths and stuff.
Yeah, to me,
I
it just
just
looked
think
like
it's ugly.
something out of a '90s like cartoon. I don't know. I think it looked kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought it was hideous.
I don't know if I'll play it because I'm not into those kinds of like games anymore, really. But we'll see.
Oddworld Soulstorm.
Yeah, cool that we're getting another Oddworld.
Yeah, there have. You know what? Like they've been pumping out all these remakes and new re-releases and new Oddworld games, but people are buying them, obviously. But I never hear anyone talk about them.
I don't either. I've played. I mean, I loved the last Oddworld game I really got into was Stranger's Wrath on like Xbox, and I dug the shit out of that game. And then I played a little of the like re-release of, was it Munch's Odyssey or whatever that came to the PS4. I played a little bit of it, but it's not really my bag. I'm not really into like the 2D adventure, like because it's like puzzle adventures. I don't know. It's not really my style of game, but I mean, it's got charm, I guess. It
definitely has charm. I've always loved the character design of those games. Character design and the music. Like
it's also one of those games. It just every single one of these games so far, and pretty much all of them. There was a theme to this show, which was, even if it wasn't a game for me, it was a game I still wanted to try out for 30 minutes. Like all of these games to me were something I just wanted to play at least a little bit of. Like even if it wasn't my bag, I was just like, yeah. So
yeah. Ghostwire Tokyo. First of all, I love the name Ghostwire. I'm just gonna say it. It just sounds cool. I'm just like Ghostwire, tight.
It sounds like an anime that I swear was made but wasn't. Yeah. It's like, I know this has got to be a name of something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an action horror game with like Japanese mythological monsters.
Yeah, it looked a lot like slight elements of like maybe BioShock or something with the powers and stuff, but it also like this is what I came up with when I first saw it. I was like, what is this reminding me of? What is this reminding me of? And I was like, oh my God, I get it. The character Zenyatta from Overwatch, how he like flies around and shoots the orbs and shit. I was like, that's exactly what that reminded me of. It looked like you were playing the entire game as like Zenyatta, because you were like shooting these powers really fast, because you're shooting them like rapidly.
Yeah.
It looked like you were. So again, another game that I don't think we know enough about.
I don't know. I mean, what's there to know? It seems like you're just like fighting Japanese mythological monsters.
You know what I like?
I mean, what else do you really need to know?
I like when games, and I know this wasn't the place for it. I'm excited to see more of this, but I like when games show what the downtime is. That's what I get excited about. I get what the action is. Action's action.
Yeah, but action doesn't sell.
Downtime doesn't sell. You mean?
Yeah. Downtime doesn't sell. Action
sells. But yeah, like some of my favorite parts of stuff, like there's plenty of action and like the Blade Runner 2049, but some of my favorite parts are just like him walking through
there's not a lot of action Blade Runner.
Well, there's plenty of like set pieces and shit, like the end and but like some of my favorite parts of that shit was like him just walking to his car with that crazy Hans Zimmer soundtrack.
You don't watch Blade Runner if you don't like downtime.
Yeah, that's why I really like
downtime.
I love the quiet moment. That's why, like, when I was a kid, I loved Zelda when I was just like walking around, just like making up my own story, So anyway,
speaking of making up your own story, because this is a trailer that really didn't give us anything, but it still looked pretty cool. And speaking of Hans Zimmer, had a very Hans Zimmer music vibe. Jet, The Far Shore.
So I have a very, very inside investment in this title, because not very many people even know what the fuck that was. But I don't know if you saw the little logo pop up that said Super Brothers.
Yeah, that's Swords and Sorcery. Right.
So that game literally is like, and to this day I've never played. I mean, it was only on phones when it first came out, but you had to play the whole game with headphones. And it was the most like transformative. It was the game that showed me like phone games can be these like really intense fucking experiences. And the soundtrack and just like the game, like literally like you could only beat the game during a certain cycle of the moon in real life. It was just like so much crazy shit in that game, and the art style and the music. And ever since then I've been like, where is Super Brothers? What is happening? Are they going to make another game? Because that game
Now
came
you
out
know.
in 2010,
Now you know.
and like
It's
I was
some
just like,
sort of jet. It seems like some sort of like exploring space or exploring like planets or something.
we have no idea.
But the music is super great, and I loved the whole tone. That's what I mean. Like if a trailer is not going to give us a lot of gameplay, like give us something that like let me know the tone of the experience.
And if there's one thing that Super Brothers that they've only made one game. Like they've only done one game, and it's so crazy. I'm thinking of them as this developer, but it was the first game I literally told. Like after I finished that game and I finished the final boss battle, which is like this rhythm game that's playing out to like a Pink Floyd soundtrack in the background. It's like Pink Floyd, and this monster's like shooting lasers at you, and you have to time it with a rhythm of the song. And it was just like the weirdest shit. And there's the moon and all this crazy shit. And I was just like, this is one of the most unique games I've ever played. And once I finished it, I looked at Heather and I said, 10 out of fucking 10. 10 out of 10. And I don't put that lightly. I said, this iPhone game is a 10 out of 10 experience. More people need to fucking play it. But I'll move on because we don't know much about this other than.
Oh man, there's just not enough ugly dragon people in it, so I'm not really interested.
Yeah. I mean,
and speaking
of dragons.
Speaking of like matching good music to give a tone to your trailer, the next one did the opposite. Godfall.
Mm-hmm.
What was that music? Like, it did not match gameplay. I was like, what? Because it was like this epic, like. Yes, ascend to godhood. Look at these like slow action battles, and it's like this weird, like hip hop, like fast paced music. I'm like, this is not. This is dissonant to me.
Yeah. No, I agree. There was something strange about that trailer because what I saw looked fun and cool.
Yeah.
And really, like the combat looked cool. The graphics looked awesome. Like it looked fun. But something about that trailer felt off to me.
Yeah.
And I think that might be what it was. It was also they were just some of the presentation. They were like, upgrade your armor.
Yeah, it felt like it was like marketed.
It was like they were selling a phone game. It was like they were selling.
It felt like it was marketed at like. Yeah, it felt like it was just the wrong marketing team. I'm like, did these people even like look at your product, or they're just like, just pretend you're selling. Whatever, some sports game or something, whatever.
It was like, customize your armor.
Yeah. Ascend to godhood. Get new weapons. Like, what? And it was like big, epic. Like they should have had like some sort of epic choral score going on.
It's like if in the next like God of War trailer, it's just like, hey, we're gonna be back as God of War. We're all real excited here. I'll show you some more God of War. Kratos is badass. He's here to kick some tail. He is really hardcore, and he's ready to fight Thor.
He's got an axe now.
Thor's pissed. Kratos pissed. We're all mad, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna get crazy.
Yeah, very strange trailer. Now on to something good. So boy, Solar Ash.
Oh my god, dude! So this is you. Can you imagine my heart? Because here's the problem. I just saw. So Godfall didn't do much for me because I had just seen a Super Brothers trailer and I was like, I never thought I'd see this fucking shit ever again. And then Godfall happened and I was too distracted with my brain. And it was like from the creators of Hyper Light Drifter, Heart Machine Studios. I was like, my whole body exploded into semen.
Oh, like little sailors?
Yes, seaman. For all of you grossies out there, ugh.
Oh, you mean the Sega game, Seaman?
Yes, that one.
Start. Oh, okay.
Good. Dreamcasts.
Yeah.
That game. Again, that game definitely doesn't look like it's going to be on PS5 only. It's probably going to be both because it doesn't.
It doesn't look intensive. Yeah, it doesn't look like too intensive of a game visually.
The art style of Solar Ash, like this, you just like this mixture of the Hyper Light Drifter from Hyper Light Drifter and like the dude from Journey, and you look more like
I get
this,
a very big Journey vibe in terms of like
it's like Journey with like it looks like you're gonna have like action Journey. Like,
it seems like there's some type of like gravity manipulation because he like goes up and then down and then he jumps down onto the dragon thing. I'm like,
the movement
looks real floaty. It looks real floaty.
It looks very fluid and fast paced and yeah. It looks like you're gonna be able to like just kind of run. It looks like maybe you would even like run on walls and just like all the level design is just gonna be tailored to you running around wherever. So
maybe. Again, not a lot said, but
not a lot. But Robbie was it was like they were talking to me through the screen at that point. I was like, oh my God, my heart can barely take it no more. Let's move on, or I'll talk about it forever.
Next up, Hitman 3. I never got into the Hitman series, so
I played 1 and 2. I mean, I played I played the originals like way back in the PS2, and then like I played the new rebooted 1 and 2, and I had some fun with 1. I didn't play too much because it felt like the same exact game. This looks kind of like it's probably gonna be the same. I mean, it is. At the end of the day, I don't have too much fun with those games. I mean, they're kind of cool at first, and then I don't know. It's not really my style, but I get it.
Yeah, I mean, as much as the like stealth games, I just couldn't get into those because those were more like they're more like social stealth. It's like the stealth is you blending in and then killing and then getting out. And I'm more into like hiding under stuff and sneaking around. You know, I don't know. I just couldn't get into. I've only played.
It's high maintenance stealth.
Yeah, I like Metal Gear because it's more of like segmented into little arcade scenarios. Here, get past here. Okay, cutscene. Okay, here, get past here. And then,
yeah. This is it's almost too open ended, and what's weird about that is I actually like open ended level design. So I don't know why I bounce off of Hitman, but like I do, and I don't know.
Should feel bad.
I think it's because it's like a puzzle game, and I'm not really a puzzle game guy, and so maybe that's why it's just sort of like it's more like a puzzle game than an actual stealth game. But anyways, more Hitman.
Yeah, more Hitman. I mean, someone out there is happy, so Hitman. Next up is Astro's Playroom. They're still making the Astro guy happen. Trying to make Astro.
Astrobot on VR was absolutely fucking amazing. It was one of the best VR games I've ever played. And I say this like coming out of, I used to never give a shit about Astrobot or Astro's Playroom or any of that. But the game Astrobot was really awesome. It was really well made. It sucks that it's stuck on VR. I kind of hate that. That's why I liked
because it's a VR experience, dude.
When I first saw it, I almost was like, oh, please say that we can play this out of VR. And they're like, nah. And I'm like, whatever. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, it's an Astro game. Whatever. I remember playing one of them and being like, yeah, this is just like pure. Speaking of a tech demo, like it's just pure like hardware tech demo. It's like, hey, look at the things you can do with the accessories.
I'm not gonna own an entire, $350.
I heard it's free though.
No, I'm talking about the VR. I'm not gonna own a $300 accessory just so I can have that and Beat Saber.
Beat Saber is really great though.
They are cool.
Next up, I was actually really excited about this, and this might be like my most excited I got about a game on here. Little Devil Inside.
Oh, that was on my top 5.
I was really excited. I loved the art style.
It was so charming.
The humor. I loved the humor. The action looked cool. The setting looked cool. The storytelling looked cool. I'm like, this just looks like a fun game.
It looks fun, and it really, like, at first I was kind of like, okay, what is this?
Yeah.
And then when they showed him, like, pull out a musket and, like, shoot a guy.
Yeah, because it's like,
cool.
It's like Wind Waker. It's like, it felt like it was like Wind Waker Monster Hunter. It was really weird, because, like, his eyes were big, and they were very emotive. And I'm like, man, it just screams Wind Waker. And but you're, like, hunting down monsters. I'm like, this looks awesome.
Like, grabbed that guy and like split his throat. His head fell off, and I was like, "What the hell are we watching?" But then it kept cutting back to like a dude like in his house just hanging out. I think that was him.
Like, I think that was him like recounting like his past as like a young adventurer or something.
Yeah, because it shows him like throwing a bomb down like a shaft,
and then him pooping,
and then it shows him like taking a shit, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sold, man. Any game trailer that uses like toilet humor. Yeah, I'm pretty sold. I mean,
it had almost like a Kubo and the Two Strings kind of vibe to it, or something like that. I don't know. It just really
it had like everything had a matte
claymation kind of
everything
vibe.
had a matte sheen to it. Like it wasn't really shiny. Everything just had like a matte sheen.
Yeah, totally.
I like
this one. This one looks fucking great, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh boy, here it is. NBA 2K21.
You know, I see why they show this.
Look at his sweat. Look at his sweat. Wow, look at his sweat.
Well, they were like, okay, everything's in engine, and I'm like, I get it. Okay, cool. We're gonna see this guy, but I'm like, oh, we're not even gonna see any gameplay. Like, we're literally just gonna see a guy like in the court just hanging out. I don't know. It's an NBA game. Moving on.
The only NBA game I've ever enjoyed was Jam. So.
Yeah, dude. If they would have opened up with like it's like in engine and it's like, oh, okay, this is NBA 2K, and then the dude like
his head grows all big.
He's looking like no. If the dude just like pulled out a basketball and he just like his like eyes turned red and he like flew through the air and like slam dunk and then everyone's
on fire
and all these like people were taking pictures. Yeah, it was like he's on fire.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been so badass. That would have been a great bait and switch.
Yeah, because they did that reboot on last gen of NBA Jam,
and it didn't really.
It was okay.
Make a splash.
Like, yeah, it didn't really make much of a splash. So they weren't ready for it. Next up, I don't know what the hell to think of this game. From the creators of Octodad.
Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks. I don't know. I don't know what to think.
It looks like Sim Life meets Octodad, honestly, I guess.
Yeah, it's like you eat food.
You eat bugs and you turn into Sim.
But it's not bugs, it's like bugs that look like food or food that looks like bugs and you eat them and you become them. I don't know.
It's another one of those that I'm gonna have to play or hear about it and tell me what do I do?
Tell me what the hell? What's the gameplay loop here? What is going on?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You know, like the Souls games, people are just ripping off Soul games nowadays. Now it's just like Demons Souls. It can't even come out of an original title. Like Dark Souls, Demons Souls. It doesn't even sound real. Demon Souls.
Are you done?
Yeah, I think I'm done. I just wanted to open with that. That was funny.
Are you trying to kill me?
Yeah, it's Demon Souls. I don't really care much for the Souls series, but everyone else does.
I called this.
So I didn't want it to happen because I wanted something else to be remade.
Well, because it was Blue Point. It was Blue Point, and I started thinking, what if they do like Shadow of the Colossus 2, or what if they do like a complete reimagining of like Metal Gear 1 or something?
I was really hoping they would like have some crazy reimagining of Metal Gear 1 and 2, but that's a pipe dream.
100% gonna buy this. I mean, I just am. I loved Demon's Souls. I still think it's so stupid that it's not just called Demon Souls.
Because it's not demon. It's not plural. All right, it's a demon's souls. You know, like Legion.
But yeah, I don't know why you would ever make a game that ends with an S and then the next word starts with an S. Just stop it.
Stop. We learned nothing from Japan.
I mean, no, but in all fairness, I'm actually very excited about this. I think it looked really good. Again, I was kind of sad we didn't see any real gameplay. That was one I was kind of hoping we'd see gameplay of.
Know how it's going to play.
I know, but I want to see what it looks like in motion. I don't want to just see the big dragon.
It looks good. That's
all I needed. Thanks.
I mean, you already know it's going to look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else in the world is excited, so I'm excited that they're excited.
I'm excited for you being excited, for us being excited.
Next up, opened with a pretty cool grindhouse style trailer. Was makers of Dishonored, Deathloop.
I'm in for this one. This one looks really pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. It looks fun. I mean, is it a multiplayer game? Is it not a multiplayer game?
I think so. I think they've spoke to that. I think that like one person can play the other assassin.
Yeah, it seems like it's geared towards.
Or you can just choose to be the other assassin, or you can pick sides or something. I don't know. We don't know much about that. We did see. This was probably the most gameplay we saw. Any of the trailers. We saw a lot of gameplay. It looks really cool. It looks like Dishonored meets.
Honestly, I was not impressed. I was not impressed graphically there. I was like, this looks like a mid-grade PS4 game.
Pretty sure this is going to be and you did Dishonored and Prey, which that's what Arcane Studios did before. Those have never been known for their graphics. So
this is like PS5 trailer. I don't know. I was just expecting more. I was like,
this is 100% going to be a PS4, PS5. This is not going to be a from the ground up PS5 game. I think they originally started developing this for PS4. So, but it looks really cool. I like the presentation was a very it has it's like Clockwork Orange meets Kill Bill. Because you have these people in the masks and all that shit, but then you have Down, 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 down.
It was very grindhouse.
It's like Tarantino meets fucking Kubrick and with a lot of Dishonored gameplay, but with guns and lots.
They pretty much took. They're just like, Let's just take that.
What's cool?
What was cool? Oh yeah, our little travel thing. We'll just do that again.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is that just? No,
I love Blink though. I love it so much. It's such a cool gameplay mechanic. I'll take it in any game. Just give it.
And I liked them flipping people up and throwing them. That was really cool. I was like, wow, that's cool. Yeah, because he had the shotgun and he was flipping people, shooting him, and flipping them out the window. And that's obviously planned footage. Someone trained for. He trained to do that to make it look good, but
it had a tiny bit of Bulletstorm in there too. That I kind of remember that game had that crazy, just over the top, just how nuts can you murder people?
Murder Nuts. That's our new game coming out this fall. Murder Nuts.
Murder Nuts from the creators of Penis Farters.
Speaking of not technically impressive, but still happy to see. Resident Evil 8 Village.
Yeah, they got us, or they kind of got me with this one. At first, I was like,
yeah, they got me too. I was like,
is this Resident Evil 4 remake? Because it had the because
you're in a village,
and then the village and shit, and then the weird people. But then they kept showing a bunch of other stuff that I was like, maybe this isn't Resident Evil. And I was like, no. I was like, this has got. And then they were like, Village, and I went, oh, okay. And then
I really like that they're.
And then it all turned sideways.
I really like how they're continuing with the first person thing. I'm really happy.
I'm okay with it.
I thought that. I don't know. I thought that was the freshest thing that Resident Evil could do was just go first person. I mean, they're kind of hey, PT's really popular, so let's do it. And they did it well, so I'm glad that they're continuing with that.
I still prefer my Resident Evil games to be third person, but I understand why they're in first person, and a lot of the reason why I don't like them being in first person is because I don't like horror games.
They're spooky.
And I like third person because you're removed from, you know what I mean?
There's a sense of omniscience, you can see around your character.
And so I've always liked Resident Evil because it has this kind of cheesiness to it, and it's never been really scary. It's just been kind of creepy. And then with Resident Evil 7, it went full on
in your face.
No, I rented it one day because Heather likes horror movies and I don't, and she wanted me. No, I fucking hate horror movies because I like to see. I love. No,
I get scared easily, but that's kind of why I like horror movies.
No, see, here's the weird thing about horror movies for me is I really I enjoy watching them, but it's the aftermath that I can't stand. It's the getting up in the middle of the night after I've seen a horror movie and avoiding all the mirrors and all the windows and shit, just being I just need a glass of water. I don't want demons to murder me.
That's amazing.
So I have to take 5 Xanax before every horror movie. But no.
But yeah, I like the village turning into the 8. That's so clever. It's
It was
dumb,
very
but
clever
it's
of
so
them.
so clever.
Those little shitholes. They did it
Love
again because they already did that
again.
with 3, where they were like, well, Resident Evil, whatever, and they're like, just kidding, it's Resident Evil 3. And we're like, fucking stop it,
Dicks.
But yeah.
All
Anyways,
right. Second to last one. Again, like this one, like there's nothing but just a conceptual trailer. But Pragmata.
Kojima, is that you?
For reals, when I saw the ending, I'm like, is this Death Stranding 2?
I really, because I was like,
especially if you've beaten Death Stranding, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm just like, is this it? But no, it's not.
I just have to
speak
real quickly that the last, like, they went crazy with heavy hitters at the end there. Like, I mean, with you know, all the last ones were just kind of like bam, bam, bam. You were just like, damn, dude, they're like attacking. They're going into attack mode.
Yeah.
So speaking of attack mode, then we had
the final game. I'm sure you were excited about this. Much more excited than I. Horizon 2 Forbidden West. It's a game. I don't know why everyone's calling it Horizon Forbidden West, because there's obviously a 2 in the titling.
And it did the thing that we were talking about. I was like, please don't call it like Horizon Zero Dawn 2. And I love the fact that they're sticking with Horizon 2 Forbidden West. I think Kanye may already have a son named that, but
Horizon 2?
No,
Forbidden West. I wouldn't put it past him.
But sorry, I came up with that earlier, and I had to do it.
Good.
Well, you'll laugh more about it later, folks. But yeah, no, I'm all in. Again, I was hoping we'd see some gameplay footage here. We saw like in-engine, I'm sure, was what it was, but it was still just kind of a lot of like open landscapes and her talking and stuff. And I'm super excited, especially I hope, it'd be hilarious if again, because you remember this famously, Horizon came out in the same like week that Breath of the Wild did, and so like everyone was like climbing mountains, and so then when you played Horizon and you couldn't climb anything, everyone was like, so it kind of got some people that didn't have a Switch at the time were a little underwhelmed with Horizon after playing Breath of the Wild. But I swear to God, if those games come out like within the same week again, I'm going to...
For reals. If Breath of the Wild 2 comes out within the same month as Horizon...
Sony's going to be like, you motherfuckers, quit!
We have a bowl. Someone's leaking information, man.
But yeah, I'm extremely, extremely excited about pretty much almost every announcement we had was something that I was like, man, I could totally play that. I could play that for at least 10 minutes, just to check it out because it looks so interesting. Everything from a lot of really different shit, from Kana, Bridge of Spirits to...
Yeah, it felt like it was a good smattering of different styles and genres and new things.
Little Devil Inside, Project Athia, like Ratchet & Clank, Pragmata, like Stray, Solar Ash. Like there were so many cool, weird, just like interesting games that I thought, with the PlayStation 5 reveal, I thought we were going to get a lot of more photorealism than we did, which was cool. And speaking of photorealism, this wouldn't be a talk about the PS5 if we didn't talk about the actual PlayStation.
Wow.
What did you think about the design? We have not talked about this at all.
No, not at all, in person or on text or anything.
We did not discuss this, so I do not know your feelings.
You
do not know mine.
I have one question. Can it go on its side?
Yes. They've officially said
it's definitely not like that's not their first design choice though, because
it has like it has like a heavy base and then part of it like sits off of the ground, and they actually designed it so that when you do set it on its side, it's not always on the complete side. It has like a little piece that like kind of sits up that way that it doesn't overheat.
No, that's good. I really hope that it's not as loud as PS4.
What do you think of the design, sir?
It's all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's different.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I might be a little higher on it than you. I think it's cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cool, but
I think it's so much more exciting than the Xbox One X, Series X. It's to me, they could have just done a box, but I think they went bold, and we saw pieces of that with that controller. When I saw that controller, I was like, oh, they're going weird with it, and I kind of like it. Like, whatever, man. If I want a boring box, I'll just buy a fucking PC, man. I don't know. Like, I just like. What's exciting about consoles is how fucking weird they look. Look at the GameCube or the Dreamcast.
Plus, consoles, or the NES. The thing about consoles, I mean, PC Master Race will never understand this, but like, it's a product. Like, you're not just buying like hardware to play software. Like, you're buying a product with specific things that it does. Have an identity. Like it's a product with its own identity. And I mean, that's why I always like consoles, because it's like, I don't know, you get this whole little experience with it. And if I wanted a box, I'd just, spend $900 and build a PC or something, but I won't do that.
So to me, it has this sleek, elegant design. I know it's not for everyone, and everyone's joking that it looks like a wireless router or whatever. And sure, it does. It totally looks like some wireless routers look cool.
I've seen some pretty badass routers, bro.
Right? Some sweet ass Netgear, brother.
Netgear, Cisco for life, bro.
So yeah, they're clearly going the opposite route of Xbox, which is very exciting, because I always like when it would suck if like Xbox went super bold and then they went super bold, and it was like but it's interesting that they went complete different directions. Xbox is like, we're playing it safe. I thought it would be the other way around, because I thought PlayStation was like, we have nothing, or we have we're on top, so let's just make the safe console.
Yeah,
and that's Xbox is like. That's what I thought they were going to be like. Hey, we're in the last place.
I figured that Xbox would play it safe, because they've been, with the last gen, they've been slowly integrating with PCs in general. So it's like, I figured the next console would look like a PC, and it looks like a PC.
And to me, I think if there's one thing I can say positively, the most positive thing I can say about this console design is it's not perfect, and it is a little.
I don't really like the flappage.
The pop collar is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like that can get like caught or broken, or I don't know. I just feel like it looks cool, but I don't know. We'll see how strong that son of a bitch is,
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think that plastic's probably going to be pretty thick right there. But the most positive thing I can say about this announcement was seeing this now, like in retrospect, thinking back on it. What it does is it doesn't necessarily like it didn't like. I'm not like I'm 100%. I love this. Well, it's so cool. I'm like I do like it. It's very interesting. It'll probably grow on me. I actually have grown. Like the controller's grown on me a lot, actually.
Well, I liked the controller day one. I'm like, this looks like an Xbox controller.
Yeah, but with a bolder design that had so much it just looked different, had an interesting look to it.
It's just meatier. For me, it's just like meatier. I like as much as I like the PS4 and the DualShock going back, like it always I don't know.
There's a little
compared to those. Yeah, they're always just a little not enough meat to grab. So I'm glad that they're getting them more beefy.
You like to grab meat. But it made me realize how much less excited I am for the Xbox, and unfortunately, I'm gonna buy both. But like, it's like, what do you want to spend? Do you want to spend your money on this thing over here that's boring and not pushing anything, or this like weird crazy monolith from Mass Effect? I mean, and it's like. You know what? I'm gonna fucking risk it. Like, let's go with the weird thing. Let's get weird with it, because that's why I play fucking consoles, man. Because I like weird things. My favorite console of all time is the Super Nintendo, and that game system is the weirdest looking fucking thing ever. Especially when
what even is that anyway?
It's all fucking purple, man. Like what? What are they? What were they thinking? Like they're just like
weird ridges.
I think bold console designs are some of the most fun, and going backwards.
Because we haven't had any since the GameCube.
Yeah, GameCube, Dreamcast, I think were the last two like really interesting.
Yeah.
Console.
After
designs.
that, PS2 block.
Yeah,
Xbox,
PS2 was
block.
And I was actually really disappointed in the PS4 and Xbox One reveals because they both were just like
they looked exactly the same, pretty much.
Two black boxes, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
this was so much cooler.
Which flavor of black box am I gonna get?
Yeah, and I like this. This is so much more like, oh, do you want this thing that looks like it's in Adam Jensen's apartment in Deus Ex, or do you want this thing?
He did ask for this.
He asked for this fucking PlayStation.
No, I agree because like I think Sony made a smart move because I think people are gonna want something because like even if it looked, I feel like even if it looked normal or they wasn't bold, I think they still have a leg up. Because I never hear anyone talk about like when the next Xbox is coming out, but I constantly hear PS5, 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 PS5.
Dude, that Microsoft is going to have to do a lot to catch up. Overall,
I mean, they do have like a lot of backwards compatibility, which is nice. But
yeah, we don't know a lot about what PS5's backwards compatibility is going to be like.
I've heard of some, and they haven't made any details.
They said PS4 for sure, so that's the most important one to me. But like, honestly, I mean, to me, this was one of the best like showings. It was just like game box, and it was like it didn't really stop much, and it showed up. We saw a lot of gameplay, and it was just like, to me, it reminded me of like those Nintendo Directs where it was just like boom, 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 and you're just like, holy shit, that's coming out. And it was just like, to me, it was so overwhelming. We saw so many new IPs and just interesting takes on older IPs. And it was just to me, it was a classic. Like, it felt like I just like watched a E3 presentation, I was just like, man, this is fucking awesome.
This goes to show you that, I mean, over the last couple of years, E3, I've always said E3 is dying. Like E3 E3's not needed anymore.
It's absolutely just shown.
And this year, yeah, they were forced. The world was forced to prove that we don't need E3 anymore.
We don't, because we all watch E3 on our televisions anyway.
I mean, who the heck? The only people who go to E3 are like super fans, press, and that's
industry people.
Industry people.
But really, I mean, what it comes down to is the thing is like, instead of watching some weird, awkward, like,
even though I miss the Ubisoft awkward mess.
Yeah. But
I really am, because I love
it so much smoother, and I didn't have to see a guy walk out on stage and be like, so blah blah blah, awkward joke. You know what I mean? And then like a couple people cough and laugh, and he's like, so anyways, here's our new game we're making. Is it up yet, John? It looks like we're having a couple problems here, guys. Stick with us. It's a live performance. And I'm just like, oh my god, get to the damn point. Sometimes E3 lasts too long, and so I think we're forced now.
Yeah.
They're condensing everything into this ball of just like pure fucking sticky, slutty little licky. Give it to me. So I want my sticky slut ball, is what I'm saying, and I loved it. I'm giving this conference a 900 out of 1.
I'm gonna give it a jalapeno popper out of a cheese stick.
What? That's so high.
I know.
Real quick before we go, just want to touch. We did get a new Paper Mario trailer, and it looks really awesome, and I'm super excited for that. So awesome. More in-depth shit. I can't wait for that. Like, that just looks like a game I'm ready to play right now. And we also got the leak Star Wars Squadrons, which
I read that.
Monday they're gonna release an announcement trailer for Star Wars Squadrons by EA. We don't know anything about this, but since it's called Squadrons, we are assuming it's going to be kind of a spiritual successor to Rogue Squadron.
Yes, I hope so, because those Squadron series is my favorite.
Dude, oh my, like, yeah, next to Fallen Order and Knights of the Old Republic, that's probably third, right? That's like the next one is like the Rogue Squadron series. So if they're bringing that back, please God, like if they add multiplayer, please make it like the secondary thing.
Yes.
Please make the single player.
Have you learned anything from Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hope they learned from Fallen Order. This is how you do a Star Wars game, you motherfucker.
This is what people want. Remember, people go see movies because it's a story. People like Star Wars because of story. Who'd have thought?
Stories. And
Star Wars, like stories.
Let me play as Wedge. I don't care where I'm at. Just let me be Wedge all the time.
Biggs Wedge.
Thanks, you guys, for hanging out with us and listening to us Gabby Gab. This has been the Critical Beard Podcast. Those were our thoughts about the PS5 launch. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, it was all right. It's an
Leave it down.
Give us a thumbs up.
Peace. Bye.